Hello, everyone. Excuse me. My throat was like kind of calling me to drink something real quick. All right. We are doing another collective reading. I hope everyone's having a fabulous day. I did pre-shuffle the cards ahead of time. All right. So, before I got into the cards, I was kind of, you know, tapping into the messages I was receiving for us as collective. I know a lot of us were going through a lot of changes. That was one of the things that was coming up. I know me personally, I'm going through a lot of changes internally, outernally. I don't know if that's even a word, but um, we're. I'm just going to speak from a very authentic place. Um, Get one of those crystals. Um, a lot of us have been in this period, I feel like. I'll get into the reading for a minute, but I feel like a lot of us have been into this period where we want new things come to us. We're looking for new things. And I feel like it's easy to get entrapped by the reality of what was, what is, what shoulda, coulda, woulda, what did I do wrong, what do I need to change to have a better outcome in my life. And one of the problems I've had to come to terms with is just over a few days ago, it was a very emotional time for me, and something I knew was coming, but I didn't know how or when or where it was coming, and pretty much, being engaged. Because to me, like I'm very happy, I'm very excited, but like today I came across a video on Facebook, and it really opened my mind a little bit about this thought or this idea of, you know, stop living in the past. Like, it's easy to get in this trap or the cycle of what was in the past. But it's only stunting our growth. It's only stunting what's really not good for us. And I feel like it's easy to look at the past as, a lot of people say, as reference points to learn from. And I think a lot of us, especially with Saturn going retrograde and it's going direct today, I think it's a good time of reflection on this year in general, but also, where are you headed in the future? But focus on more of the now aspect instead of what's happened in the past. Because one of my biggest struggles is, okay, like, what day was it? Monday. Monday, I woke up like any other normal Monday, how it is. Um, Me and my boyfriend do our normal routine. We get out of bed and stuff. He may play a video game or two, but then we find something to eat in the fridge. And so basically what happened is, we seen something in the mailbox. And I thought right away, oh, there's something in the mailbox because, he ordered a few things online and stuff. And one of the things that I'd seen was this little package, and on there I saw a ring. And so my first thought was, oh, what if it's a promise ring? Because I was thinking, yeah, it could be in my mind. Like, there's two thoughts. It could be an engagement ring. It could be a promise ring. That was my thought. It could be a promise ring. I don't know. But I kind of thought too it could be an engagement because for weeks on now I've been getting this hint that he's going to propose to me. Because he said he had a surprise gift. Well, it's not really a surprise if I kind of hint it, like he's hinting it, And then he was talking to guys at work and stuff. But anyways, before I get sidetracked, anyways, he opens it up and he said, "This is the secret gift or whatever." So he opened it up, and basically, I guess it was my engagement ring. But he didn't really do what the normal people did, bow on their knee or their one knee, lay on their one knee and propose. It was a different way, and I didn't expect it because I was thinking, oh, I thought it was a promise ring. And basically, he told me, do you promise to be my woman? And so I guess that was a proposal. It wasn't like flashy or anything. But I really looked at the ring and it brought me back to, like kind of like the medieval times, because I'll show you my ring. I have it on the wrong finger, I know, I've been told, but it feels more comfortable on this. So this is a ring that my now fiance gave to me. Let me move it a little bit. It's kind of like a Celtic look to it. Anyways, I looked at it and it looked very Irish, Celtic. Like it's like reminds me of like in that Irish type feel, like Lord of the Rings. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Anyways, to give a short close to the story, basically proposed. It was different because I know I've been trying to clear out the whole thing with my ex, get my new social security, name change, and then that and my ID, because I eventually want to get a driver's license. I do have one, but it's expired. So I eventually want to do that, but all these new changes were happening. I was going through the changes and then bam, I guess I'm engaged now. And one of the things I feel like a lot of us are having to go through is, and I met a person online. She's going through similar things. Like she, through I think a few days ago, went to the beach or something, threw her ex's ring that when she was married out into the ocean, and she felt more freer and lighter. So I feel like a lot of us are having to deal with past issues, past related things that we're trying to clear up, that we're trying to end, trying to move um, from our view, so we can fully open up to these new opportunities. But at the same time, it's been very hard for me to even do that. And I think a lot of us are collectively going through that. We want new change. We want new things, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's to be with our soulmate, whether it's just a new job opportunity. And I feel like I was going to get these cards because that's basically what it is, the collective reading. So Page of Wands, Four of Wands, Page of Swords, the Lovers, Three of Swords, Justice in reverse, and Nine of Cups, Five of Swords in reverse, and the Sun card. So it's basically what I'm saying. I feel like all of us want to take that leap of faith. All of us want to take that new job or that new experience, whether it's in a family dynamic, whether it's in a relationship dynamic, whether it's new communication, new people, new ideas, new adventures, exploration. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Lovers. So we want the balance ultimately in our life, but there's this imbalance that we're having to look at, and I feel like that has to do with things in relationships that aren't working, things in our life that need to be looked at and need to be handled when it comes to our ultimate happiness, when it comes to being fully satisfied in our life. And to me, I've learned that, it's nice to have the nice things. It's nice to have, things that are ultimately going to give you happiness. But there's never going to be a point where we're satisfied, completely whole. It's just a matter of opening our heart space a little bit, realizing that we have those things already. You know, not everything in life is going to make us ultimate happen. There's always going to be this need for want. There's going to be this need and drive to always get something better. It's just balancing it out and understanding that we are complete within ourselves, whether we think we need to be in a relationship or not. We are it and that of a bag of chips. We don't need anybody. Ultimately, I feel like that was the message point for me today, is, and a little bit yesterday, trying to just process all this news and all this new change coming. I am very excited today, starting to, move move through the uncomfortableness, because I feel like for the hardest part, you know, getting a divorce in itself is a lot of mental work, a lot of, you know, I guess integration work, transmuting these old energies, these old timelines. And I feel like a lot of us get in this stuck period where we don't really deal with pain the way we've been taught to. We really don't acknowledge, things within our body, things within our energy field that are affecting our day to day lives. And I feel like a lot of them have been, seeing ourselves for what it is, seeing our past for what it is, seeing our relationships for what it is. And it's neat that the Justice card is here, because we are on to greater things within our life and more of a balance within our life. And we're almost in Libra season. So I think the Libra season is going to help us, know what it is to feel more balanced. I always enjoy Libra season because I have a Libra moon, so I'm affected by it just like anyone else is, but I just feel like it makes me feel more balanced, but it can be conflicting sometimes when things are unbalanced in our life. So I think it's also because I recently heard of a thing when I went to, this past weekend, I went to a pagan festival, and it was so fun, exhausting but fun. There's just so many new ideas that me and my boyfriend, well, fiance now, are looking ahead to, planning, thinking. And that was a neat thing. Day before I got engaged, we went to this nice pagan festival around people, similar to our path, around people that won't judge you or won't look at you as indifferent. And that was a huge blessing in disguise. And I feel like that was leading up to the day of being engaged. So it's like, even though it wasn't what I expected, which it wasn't sad, it wasn't glad, it wasn't, it was just mixed emotions, because I knew for the longest time I wanted to be with my boyfriend. I loved him. Sean has been such a help to me. He's helped me grow so much as a person. There's just so many good things to say about him. But I feel like a lot of us, whether we're in a relationship or not, are having to look at our shadow self. And coming into Scorpio season after Libra, I feel like it's not so bad to worry about it, but it's just understanding, if we want this new beginning in love, if we want this new beginning when it comes to, basically, you can't plant old seeds. It's easy to get in that mentality where it's like whatever was in the past may have looked good or whatever, but it's not ultimately going to help you move forward. It's stopping your growth. So I feel like there's introspection when it comes to our relationships, when it comes to, what is ultimately going to give me the growth and expansion in my life. And if it's not, I need to open up to new communication, open up to new love. If it's not giving me the full growth that I need in life, especially when it comes to, balancing out relationships, when it comes to these conflicting ideas and thought patterns in relationships that aren't really helping us but are bringing us more and more imbalances. So the message to take out of today that I'm feeling like with these, the cards is find your balance in relationship. Find out what it is you want. I feel like that's a hard thing, especially with my Libra moon. It's hard to figure out the balances of what do you want, what don't you want. And it's hard to make up your mind. And I feel like a lot of us have been getting these messages of making up our mind. A lot of us are indecisive. A lot of us don't know what we want. And for a while there, I felt like I was there, when it comes to this relationship. There's been many things on my relationship in general that, I started questioning myself. I started questioning, is this the right one? A lot of these different things. Especially, I've been with Sean, my fiance, for now 3 years. We've been on our pagan path for, in October, it'll be 2 years. So it's like, I know what I want, but at the same time, it's just, I want a new experience when it comes to, having our new life together, having a new home, having a family. It's those kind of things that I feel like I'm drawn to and I'm trying to manifest in this life. But it really takes work, and it really takes reflection on being precise on what it is that you want. And I think it's hard too, when you feel like you're being swayed with different things that get your attention, whether it's in another relationship and you envy something that you see, or there's something in another person that you like. But I feel like a lot of people are getting confused with their energy. And I watched a video yesterday, I'll try to close this video out, where we have to really be careful with our energy. Because I feel like our energy can tell us whatever we want sometimes, especially when it's in the ego, the way of thinking. And don't get me wrong, ego is not bad. A lot of people say kill the ego. The ego is not bad. It's there to assist us of what is in our life and what we need to be aware of. And it's there to help us grow. And I feel like if we did not have the ego in itself, it wouldn't bring any balance to our life, just like you have to have light and dark. I recently had someone got mad at me because I was wearing black lipstick on my profile picture, and I didn't react. I was like, okay, this is something I haven't seen much. But the truth of the matter is we hold dear to the fact that, we gotta eliminate the ego, we gotta eliminate things that are bad for us, but we really got to be aware of our energy, because I feel like we're in that manifestation mode where whatever we're thinking, whatever our focus and our attention is on, we're starting to manifest. And I've been noticing I really got to be careful where my thoughts go, because if I'm manifesting the good things of the past, whether it's a job or something within the past that I liked or something. I mean, we all had those moments, those not so good moments where we do enjoy things in the past. Maybe it's pleasure, maybe it's, things that are taboo, things are promiscuous or something like that. But I feel like it's more about the nature of it, being aware of what are we trying to create. Are we trying to recreate something in our life? And I feel like that's the entrapment a lot of people have been duped up, is recreating the past, recreating, I don't know why I'm thinking twin flame dynamics. Yeah, twin flame dynamics, where they see something familiar and they're getting trapped in it. I notice in my own life of people I've associated where it's like they see something familiar, but they don't realize that they're kind of being, I'm not saying lied to or deceived, but they're kind of being like led to do not so much what their hearts want, so much what their familiar eyes, instead of just really being more in tune with what do they really want in this reality. Is it the love they need? Is it the love they're missing within themselves? Because that's been the conflicting thing within myself, is I know in a relationship you know, I do well. Like, me as a person, I do well. But also, too, I have to realize, what are my pure intentions? What are my pure thoughts? Because I don't want to be wrapped up in something and knowing that, in some way, I'm not being true to it. And I feel like a lot of these fears, a lot of these doubts are coming up in my mind. And I've come to that conclusion and realization that those were there to assist me. They weren't real to bog me down and just say, things are starting to feel uncomfortable, so I'm going to run. Or things are starting to get really out of control, so I'm going to run. Or, my partner's not doing this, or my partner's not doing that. It's easy to get in these cycles of doubts. Like, am I in the right relationship? Am I making the right choice? And I feel like we're all on the right path, but it's just sometimes we veer off of it. You know what I mean? Like, we're all doing what's best for us, even if it doesn't seem best to others. But I feel like it's getting back to center. It's getting back into the heart space that, you know, are you authentically being yourself? Are you authentically using your gifts and your talents? Are you really stepping into, your passions, or are you doing what everybody else expects you to do? You know what I mean? And it's really hard to be a people pleaser. Like, I admit, it's easy to get in the cycle just to do things because everybody else expects you to, and you don't want to look like a jerk or something. But anyways, my message here, and I feel like it's for all of us, is in order to receive the blessings, whether it's a relationship, a job, receive this new endeavor that we want to, go on or escape or go to, or our passions are leading, just be very aware of your energy, be very aware of what you're trying to create, and be very clear and honest. That's really hard for me, especially because having that Libra moon and a Cancer sun, I'm like indecisive. I'm like, do I want this because I want it, or do I want it because it's gonna somehow fill that void in me? You know what I mean? And I feel like it's just being honest. Because it's like, I feel like relationships, a lot of relationships, people get in relationship because they're trying to fill that void. They don't want to be lonely. But like for me, when I when I came into my boyfriend's life, fiance now, but I I wasn't looking for it. You know what I mean? It came to me, and I feel like everyone is getting in this back mindset that everything they have to work for, they have to work for love, or they have to work for people's attentions, when it's just there. It's always been there. It's just we have to be in a better mindset to receive those things, be willing to open our heart, not close it. Like a lot of people, they close their heart because they've been hurt so many times. Like, nope, that person did that. I know backtracks. Well, not everyone's going to be like so and so and how they mistreated you. So I think it's clear enough to say, in order to really fully open up to new love or new ideas, we have to be always open. Even when the most vulnerable times when we don't feel like we need to be open, we need to be open and open to receive, and to have a better mindset that, I'm at the right place in my life. I'm at peace. I'm at the center of my heart, my passions, my goals, and to really get into that heart space with yourself and ask yourself, what do you want in life? How can you help yourself in some way today to feel calm and not be so stressed out, or your anxiety is stressed out through the roof because you don't see things working out, or everything seems so unclear. Like, is this really happening? Is this a dream? Is it really taking place? But it's just calming energy, realizing I am where I'm at. I am loved. I am worthy. Because I think that's a harder part, is now that I have someone that actually loves me, or I've known for a long time that he's actually loved me, it can get very hard to trust. It can get very hard to know that what are his intentions. And it's not about figuring out a man. So if you're a woman listening to this, you're never going to figure out a man. It's just stop overthinking that things are happening when they're not. Just tune into yourself for a moment and realize, okay, I'm fine. The situation's fine. I just need to be in tune with myself a little bit. And to realize that, things may seem unclear, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. So I feel like it's about accepting yourself, telling yourself you are worthy of love. Love is always here for you. It's just a matter of trusting the other person. Like, are they saying this? Because I think it's a past idea. If you've been hurt before, which I've been hurt in my past relationship with my ex, you know, something was said to me, and I feel like in some way it helped me say that, I'm not worthy of love because he felt this certain way, and I never want a man to see me like that. But I think it's the pitfall that I put myself in a long time, that I'm not worthy of love. And when someone does something nice to me, that they're just got evil intentions to do something bad to me, because where's their true intention? But I think it's over analyzing and overthinking that this is happening when it's not. It's just this person loves you, and especially, if a person willing to marry you, then they're serious about you. They're not playing games. They're not playing on your heartstrings. And I think the women over exaggerate with our emotions. They're like, is he saying I love you because he wants something from me, or is he saying I love you because he really means it? And one of the songs, and I'll close. I know I said I'll close. Is you need to listen to the song More Than Words, because that's one of the key songs that I really love and I've grown to love. One of my fiance's favorite song, More Than Words, it talks about, if I could take all the words out of your mouth and basically, would there be anything to show in your actions that you love me and you care for me? And I feel like that's so true of my fiance, because sometimes I don't know what's going on in his head. Like, sometimes I overanalyze and I overthink. Is he doing this because he wants something from me? And it's like, I just need to tell myself, hey, just because you had something happen in the past, in your past relationship, someone fucked you over and all this stuff, doesn't mean you're not worthy of love. And I think it's easy to get in that trap, like, when something's new to us, someone loves us, authentically loves us, they show it in everything they do, but it's like we're so blinded to the past and we're so attached. So I think it's about recognizing our faults in that and changing our thought pattern. But I'm telling you, it's really hard to change your thought pattern once you've been programmed to believe that you're not worthy of love. And I think affirmations do really help, and that's something I've been wanting to do more and more, and just really getting back into myself and realizing that I am worthy of love. At the end of the day, you got yourself, to worry about. And yes, if love comes in your way, which love has come in my way, there's a balance between. You can love yourself and love the person, and you'd be willing to give to yourself first before you can give to another. And that's something that's very difficult to do when maybe you had a scarred childhood or something growing up, or you were in a past relationship that made you feel like you're indifferent, and just because you wear certain clothes or just because you do a certain thing, you're going to be judged somehow by your critics, or you're going to be judged somehow by your own critic of the past and attachments. It's just getting back to yourself and getting in tune with who you are. And it's a process, I'm learning it myself. So anyways, you're not alone. Anyways, I hope this message is helpful. I hope it blesses someone who needs to hear it, and have a great day. Bye.